Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from Araku TV, and it's titled When Delusional Woke People Get Owned. And you guys, I'm super excited for this. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Let's use our quiet voices, please. Calm down. Stop acting like a child, and I will.
Got your ass.
Do you think women's sports should get paid more, get more recognition? What do you guys think?
For sure, like, we deserve equality, so definitely should.
On topic of women's sports, can you name any WNBA teams?
Exactly.
The WNBA has been in existence for almost 25 years and not one single team has been able to turn a profit. In fact, the NBA has to subsidise them to get a tax write-off for the owners. In other words, without the NBA, nobody's going to get paid, and there isn't even a league. It doesn't even exist.
Hundreds of climate activists have shut down traffic for the day. We're out here talking to them, asking them, do they have jobs?
No, I strike today.
Oh, you're skipping work?
I just strike. It is a strike, so I strike.
Okay, is your boss okay with it? Did you get the day off work today to come out and do this?
Well, man, my situation with work was I helped through a rough management transition, and they gave me a chance to take an extended break.
Did you get the day off work to come out here and do this?
No, I did not. I'm skipping work.
Can I ask what you do?
I'm an artist.
This explains why a lot of these climate activists don't give a shit about disrupting normal working people's days, because they got nothing better to do.
Go home and get a job.
Are you aware of the debate happening in Washington State around the ability to access bathrooms, locker rooms, spas based on gender identity and gender expression?
I think people should be able to have access to the facility.
I think bathrooms could and potentially should be gender neutral because there doesn't need to be a classification for differences.
For real?
I think people definitely should have the ability to go into whichever locker room they want.
Whether you identify as male or female and whether your sex at birth is matching to that, you should be able to utilize the resources.
So if I told you that I was a woman, what would your response be?
Good for you. Okay, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I don't have a problem with it.
If I told you that I was Chinese, what would your response be?
I would have a lot of questions, just because on the outside I would assume that you're a white man.
If I told you that I was 7 years old, what would your response be?
I wouldn't believe that immediately.
Yeah, all college students saying they want bathrooms to be gender neutral. Let's wait in 10 years when they've got kids and they see some weird ass man walking in the same changing room or bathroom as their little daughter.
Exactly.
Why are you flipping me off, bro?
Why are you taking my picture, bro?
Because there should be housing for you.
I don't want housing.
Then, so what do you want? Just to sit here then?
Yeah. It's my country, ain't it?
Yeah, but this isn't sanitary. We all live here.
It's not unsanitary.
What gives you more right than me?
It's unsanitary.
Look! What do you mean? You should want better for yourself.
I like it like this. I like the fresh air.
No, I got you, but we all have to. What if somebody's handicapped and they need to get by? They can't.
They got 36 inches.
Somebody on a mobile bike can't get through here.
They got 36 inches.
So your freedom's more important than somebody else's.
36 fucking inches.
No, see, this is the problem. You think you're more important than somebody else.
I wanted to sit here and talk to the homeless guy and hold up traffic. Maybe somebody's got to go to the hospital.
You see that? You see how that guy just expects? He just thinks that he is more important than everybody else. This is the sense of entitlement.
Man, the homeless man made him look like a complete donor and he still decided to post it and make himself look like an even bigger fool.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Exactly.
I want to just state that for 5,000 years BC, Gala transcribed and androgynous trans priests of Sumerian goddesses have been around and noted. Since we are standing on Anishinaabe land, Turtle Island, which is the nation that we live under, has
I don't live under Turtle Island.
Right, well, maybe you should read a little more Indigenous knowledge books. Indigenous communities have used two-spirit personas for the entirety of their culture.
You're pointing to civilizations that committed human sacrifice, okay? That's not a good argument. Yes, that's true. There were all sorts of terrible tribes. In fact, as recently as a little over 500 years ago, the Aztecs here in the Western Hemisphere slaughtered 80,000 people in a sacrifice to one of the demons that they worshipped within the span of 4 days. That's not a recommendation of doing that. I don't think that we ought to consider it. How does one know that someone with the total physical appearance of a man, how can one know that that person really is a woman?
What is the purpose of knowing another person's sexual
Well, see, there
identity
you are.
or
Why do you even care? What's the purpose of knowing someone's biological sex? Well, for starters, because we have civil rights specifically for women in the United States. We have special bathrooms for women. We have special sports leagues for women. We have all sorts of special places and rights and privileges and that are for women that are not for men. So if now some men, people who at the very least appear to be men, are claiming a right to go into those women's bathrooms, then we either have to abolish all of the special rights and privileges that have existed for women for all of human history and are enshrined in our law, or they need to explain to me how those men are actually women. And they can't do the latter, and I'm not willing to do the former, and I don't think women across this country are willing to do the former, even if a few people have been so ideologically blinded.
Someone said she
Wow, you guys, I love the fact that Michael knows actually humble this student, because I don't know why she is referring to 5,000 years ago or what happened 5,000 years ago. But I'm glad that Michael knows actually humbled her with this one. And let me know what you guys think, and leave your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let's continue watching, you guys.
She humiliated herself before it even started by wearing that hat. Well, by her logic, she probably needs to give up her house and any land that it's on, if she still believes that she's on Turtle Island or whatever she said.
I have a master's degree because when I got certified, I was told I had to have a master's degree to be an Arizona certified teacher. Are we allowing the parents to choose the curriculum and the books that our children are going to read? The purpose of public education is not to teach only what parents want their children to be taught. It is to teach them what society needs them to be taught.
There's more than 100 years of Supreme Court precedent telling us that we have the distinct privilege and responsibility of directing the health, education, and upbringing of our children. You don't have that responsibility. Regardless of what you think about the importance of public education, the power ultimately lies in the hands of the parents, who not only pay for what you do in the classroom, but whose children you instruct during a finite period of the day. If we're going to talk about responsibility and ownership, maybe you should take a look at our nation's math and English scores.
Listen, I get inclusivity and all of that, but this is going way too far. Why is it that instead of making a brand new character that an actor gets to play where they debut that character, instead they are taking old characters that are loved and cherished and putting a black person in that role, which only sparks controversy because people are mad because they remember the original character and they're not the original character. And it's also super lazy. You don't value the talent enough to create a brand new character where you want to make them the center of controversy. I don't understand how black people aren't seeing this and how they still applaud it. This is not on some, oh, I'm being racist, internalized racism thing. Tinkerbell has always been a blonde white woman. If you really care about inclusivity, Disney, create a new character.
This is why so many of these new movies are flopping, because they're all diversity box checking recreations of old films. How hard is it to just make a new film and make new characters, and also just to leave the ones that worked in the past? No, it's getting ridiculous when they can't even cast dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Peter Dinklage spoke up about this, and that was my issue. He had in the past no issue cashing checks that were made for dwarf roles like Elf and all of that. That check cleared just fine.
When Piers Morgan is agreeing with you, I think you need to be concerned. I'll say that for the...
So you're telling a dwarf actor what he should feel? Having literally just lectured me about speaking for someone in the dwarf community, Warwick Davis, you now accuse a dwarf actor?
No, it's not what I said. I said that if you're siding with anyone, you've got to worry. Right. What I'd like to say, actually, is that I kind of mostly agree with what you're saying.
No, that's just taking a pot shot there.
No,
it
is absolutely taking a pot shot. But I do agree with what you're saying. And as a gay man, I know that growing up, I witnessed gay people being villains in movies when I was...
Seven Dwarfs aren't villains.
And that I think stereotypes are really important to...
What stereotype do you think they represent? This isn't a part of this about the stereotype. This is about roles that were made for people such of my stature that don't have the chance to go out for other roles normally.
But you want to stop Dylan getting a role in a Hollywood film?
I am not going to get into an attack on a dwarf.
You don't want a dwarf actor to land a role playing a dwarf part.
Listen, a dwarf can play a dwarf part, but I think it's important to change narratives that don't fit in today's society. So you're using Dylan as a cheap shot to attack a Wokey. I
don't think Dylan feels I'm using him as a cheap shot. And what I would say about the Wokey thing is this. I have spent the last year listening to people tell me only gay actors should play gay parts. Only Welsh actors, so Michael Sheen, should play Welsh characters. And so on and so on and so on. But the moment we have dwarf roles, which are the most famous dwarf roles in Hollywood history, then the only people apparently who can't play them are dwarf actors. And I see there
it's a cartoon,
stinking
Piers.
woke hypocrisy.
It has not changed. It was a cartoon. Those weren't actually dwarfs in the movie. They were drawn, okay? So firstly...
They were drawn as dwarfs.
No, that is...
But it's a story about dwarves,
dwarfs.
Well, they shouldn't be called that. They should be called...
They shouldn't be called dwarves.
No, they should be called people with
They shouldn't be
dwarfism.
called...
What's wrong with being called
dwarves?
Nothing, but that's not the correct
That's the story.
Dylan, apparently you're not allowed to call yourself
dwarves.
Apparently, Dylan, you're not allowed to call yourself dwarves, apparently.
I would love to hear, what should I call myself, sir?
I think you should call yourself whatever you feel comfortable with, but as a person...
He calls himself a dwarf.
Well, that's great.
A dwarf.
Good for you. I'm happy.
So now, sir, let me pause that. So it shouldn't be called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It should just be called
I do not want to
Snow
get
White.
cancelled
So
because I think your point of view is more important
You don't want to
than
get
mine right now.
cancelled. As this person says, imagine not being a dwarf but arguing with a dwarf what it feels like to act a dwarf role. You need Michael.
Get some help.
Exactly. Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting video. And what do you think about the last part of this video with Piers Morgan? I totally agree with what Piers Morgan is saying, because no matter what you touch, no matter what you change, don't change the role of the dwarf. No matter what they change in Snow White, they shouldn't have touched the roles of the dwarf, because that is like the only movie that has given this dwarf the spotlight, and now they are being taken away from them. This is crap. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I really had fun reacting to this particular one. If you guys enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.